Hey girl, hey, it's your girl Shondy. Welcome back to my channel. So today is day 20 of Vlogcember, and I am going to just pretty much go over my favorite books by my black authors, or even my favorite books by my favorite black authors. And I think I'm just gonna go over three black authors because they have a whirlwind of books that I've been reading. And so I think yesterday, I believe I told you guys that I read 38 books. Well, I've showed you I've read 38 books last year. So, and actually most of their books is what I read last year. I think only maybe two books of them was this year. But the first author would be Ashley Antoinette. Her husband is Jaquavius Coleman, I believe. So they're like a husband-wife duo. He has a lot of books. I haven't read any of his yet, but I've heard they are very good. So I'm going to get into them eventually. But for her right now, I've just been, last year had me in a complete chokehold with her books. So first we'll start off with her book called Moth to a Flame, which I'll put here. I have it. I had the physical copy, but I know I loaned it out to somebody. I don't know who I can't remember who I loaned it out to, but Moth to a Flame was a very good book. And it starts off like it's let me say, if you like, I don't want to say like drug dealing or anything like that, but it's kind of sort of like if you like those like street books, type novels, that's similar to what it was, but it also has so much drama entailed in it that's just wrapped around street drama. So she was like a drug kingpin's daughter. She was on top of the world, and then her world came shattering down. So I don't want to give too much, but yeah, things with Raven kind of went for a loop hill. And that's from that book. It started off. It kicked off her next series, which is called Ethic, and it's like 1 through 6, I think, for Ethic. And yeah, those books were good. Like Raven, Ethic was in Raven, and then it introduces, like I said, introduces Ethic, then goes into Ethic series, or people want to call it Ethic Land. And he has like 6 books, and he's one of those drug dealer kingpins from that previous book that eventually just became a star. And next thing you know, like not became a star like famous, but he's just became the center focus of this new series, this next series, and he's just Ethic is like somebody's dream man. Like the book will have you loving him, hating him, re-loving him again, back to hating him. And with that series, it tells his whole entire life that they did fully detail in the Moth to a Flame book, but it also gives him like showing him get into a relationship with someone, and they go through that back and forth relationship drama. I just think y'all would love it. Like Ethics have me in a chokehold. Like I'm married, right? I got a husband, but that was my dream. That was my man. While reading that book, y'all, it was my man. Um, but it was a really good book. It was a really good book. What else she had from that? Next, from that book, from that Ethic book, they had another character that was introduced in the named Morgan, and so now she has her series, which is another 6-part series, I believe. Maybe it's 5, and I think we're still waiting on the 6th one to be written, which is supposed to come out next year, I believe, in 2025, and that's called the Butterfly series, and this is the Butterfly series. So this was the first one, but it's 6 of them. Like it's a when I say it's gonna have y'all in a whirlwind, it's gonna have y'all in a whirlwind, following through Morgan's life. It's just a lot with her. A lot happened with her. She kind of indulged into the dating, the drug dealer type thing, and being a good girl at the same time. Like it takes you more and more in there. And even in the Butterfly series, Ethics is in there, which is nice to have. So him and some of his people will be in that one as well. So all her series just pretty trickles down. So from that Ethic land, she also had so from Ethic we have Multiple Flame, Ethic, Butterfly series, in okay. First, we're gonna start with Ashley Antoinette's series. Um, hers is like a roller coaster. So her books pretty much have you in a chokehold. Her husband is Jaquavius Coleman. He's also a writer, and they kind of like bounce back off each other. So he has a whole series as well, and she has some that him and her co-wrote. But for just her series alone, the first one, if we just dive into the very first one, it'll be Moth to a Flame. Y'all, this book is raw, emotional, and very addictive, right? So it's based about Raven. Raven, young girl whose father is a drug kingpin. She decides to want to date someone within that lifestyle. She chose love over loyalty, which she chose that person over her father. And things from then went downhill for Raven. When I say went downhill, it had you on the edge of your seat. So, and it lets you know pretty much at the end that the story does not end there. So that was a very good book. I suggest you guys get it. I had the physical copy. I just don't know who has it, but you can do Kindle, I believe, or KDP or whatever. However you get the online version, you can do that, or you can do the physical book. But a lot of people I've seen too get them online libraries. So this book I specifically have the physical copy. Um, but the next series I want to dive into is Ethics series, right? So Ethics series, it was a perfect mix of love, romance and craziness. It had a lot of emotions in that one as well. But it was a lot of loss inside of it, a lot of redemption in it. Like Ethic series was a whirlwind, and it's a 1 through 6, I believe, part series. Yeah, I think it was 6 series of that one, and yeah, I liked it. So pretty much with Ethic, let me see without having to give you everything. I don't want to spill the beans on what happened in the book, but let me see with Ethic. It was he came from the Martyr Flame, so which I like I said, let you know the last book it did not end there. So he came from that series, he came from that book, and I guess the Ashley created the next series based off that one character, because they only briefly put him in there, didn't tell too much. When they told some stuff about him, they didn't dig that back into his background. But now in the Ethics series, it's all about him, tells you all his background, shows you he's one of the drug kingpins as well. And it pretty much just takes you through this little roller coaster of him and the relationship that he gets into, all his past that maybe comes back in and out for him. And it's just a going back and forth with him in a relationship, him in a relationship, him in a relationship. And it was a lot. It was a lot. And Ethic is like, you would think your ideal, I don't know, if you when you're young, you like them drug kingpins and all that. He was like that, but he's just that Ethic. When I read that book, I can imagine how Ethic looks. I can imagine his demeanor. Like I can just imagine his presence. Like I can imagine his voice. Like you just have to read the series because it'll really make you love him. Didn't make you hate him. Didn't make you love him again. Maybe make you hate him again. But definitely at the end, you will be loving him. So with that Ethics series, that 6 books, she also wrote spinoffs like Christmas at the Equiphores. I believe that's his last name. The Invitation, which a baby shower, but obviously it's regarding him. And there's another one too. So like he has a lot of books for just that one character. Like this is how much about him that makes her able to write. So man, when I say she did her big one on him, she did her big one on that series. So next, let's dive into her third series that I like, which is Butterfly series. So the Butterfly series is 5 parts. She's working on book 6, I believe, and that's supposed to come out next year. I think spring of next year, spring of 2025. But with the Butterfly series, it comes from his series into the Butterfly series. And now with the Butterfly series, it opens up a whole new thing of someone that's close to Ethic, and her name is Morgan. She's a nice young lady that he pretty much, helped raise and whatnot. And she's a good girl, going to college. She kind of falls in love with a drug dealer, I guess, because I won't say he's a kingpin. He's not on the top, but he's a drug dealer. So it's like that good girl want the bad guy type thing, and she definitely does. And things for her was going good, and then of course it goes down. That as well takes you on an emotional roller coaster. And in this part, I feel like she's the antagonist because it will make you hate her, but love her, but hate her. But girl, like you will really like her, but then you will really start hating her. Like girl, you working my nerves now. Get it together. Wake up. Like, are you not paying attention to what's going on? Like, do you not see what's before you? And like, even though you know you're reading a book and stuff, you can see things that she can't see, as if it was like I feel like I really felt like I was real life in within the series. Like reading her series made you really feel like you were there. Like I could imagine everything happening around me, and I'm just sitting there watching it. Like that's how good she wrote these series. Like I really felt like it should be a movie. All of it. All of or a TV series. Like legit, you feel like you are there. Like it was good. But with the butterfly series, which I'm waiting on that 6-1, but I think I did show you here already how the butterfly series look. She did the 5th one, the last one, and she got one more left. But within those series, just briefly touching on it, other books within these ethics, Moth to a Flame and Butterfly, she has the product plan. Some of them characters some of them characters are in the product plan. What's the other one? Lux one. I think product plan 1 through 5. Right, the girl can write. The other one is Lux. I think 1 through 3. Those one or two of those characters may be based off one of their lives. Like I can't tell you, but when I say yeah, when y'all have to read, just read. When I say she has a lot of series that kind of intertwine with each other, and I love that for her and for us because it really makes you follow along. Let me pull up that series real quick. So yeah, she has so Butterfly 1 through 5. Okay, so let me tell you guys in order before we get to the next books, the next author. Moth to a Flame, then Ethics 1 through 6. You got Christmas with the Okafors, The Invitation, Butterfly 1 through 5, then the Product Plan 1 through 5, Lux 1 through 2. So yeah, Lux 1 through 2. 1 and 2, yeah. So that's it. But all those, I really think you should read them. Like if you're reading the first sets I told you, go and read the rest of them. It will all make sense. Like it just really pulls in and give you the backgrounds of each different character, and then their crazy lifestyle. Like I feel like I was most of all her books are based in Flint, Michigan, I believe, and it just makes you feel like you were there. Like you were raised in Michigan, and you like I feel like I know all about them. Even though I'm from Chicago, I'm from the north, so some of that lingo and slang they use, I'm used to it, but it just makes you feel like you were in that atmosphere with them, y'all. You gotta read it. It was good, top notch good. I'm gonna give her hands down. She a good writer. Her name is Ashley Antoinette again. Let's see. The next one, Arthur, I want to discuss is let's go with Kennedy Ryan. So she has 2 books. Well, she has a lot of series. I just haven't gotten into her, like, I think it was like King something. I haven't gotten into those series yet. But the 2 books of this one series is called Skyland series that she has that I like. So the first book was Before I Let Go. I gave somebody the physical copy to that one, and I did not get it back yet. When I be loaning my books out, and I be getting these books back. And I keep forgetting that I loan them out, so it is what it is. If it's someone within the family, most likely. But it's called Before I Let Go. Start off a little slow for me. The very first chapter, I believe, kind of started off slow, but right after that, like first 2 chapters maybe for me. Everybody else said they loved it from the very first chapter on forward. The first 2 chapters, I think it started off slow for me, but after that book, it was emotional, very emotional, the way she wrote the book. So Kennedy Ryan's Before I Let Go is a book that pretty much breaks your heart, then help you mend it back together. So it's about love, relationships, definitely good for married couples to read. It's definitely good on that because that's pretty much what it's about, a married couple. Yeah, so it's about love, second chances, and healing. But overall, it was a really good book. It was a really good book, beautifully written. Kennedy Ryan is definitely a good writer because that book took me on a roller coaster as well, like I said. But also with that book, she had a Skyline series. So so a character out of that book ends up having their own book, which is called This Could Be Us. Now this one, now remember I said the first one before I let go. The first two chapters, it was a little slow for me. It may not be slow for y'all, but for me it was a little slow. But everything else nailed it. Like it was hitting it head on, head on. Cause I like books that like really get into it right away. It's just me. That's why I love Ashley Antoinette. She gets into it like ain't no slow time for her. It's like first 3 pages something happened. I like that. I like to be on edge. But for Kennedy Ryan, before This Could Be Us, this is the second book in her Skyline series. So the first one was about what was the name of the lady on the first one? Darn, I can't give her her name, but I'll put her name up here. So that was the first one, was about her and her ex-husband or whatever like that. So it was about them. And then she had a friend. Her friend name is Soledad. One of her friends, she had 2 friends. Her friend name is Soledad. So this is Soledad's story. And with Soledad's story, it took me, like, I did not expect her story to be the way it was written in this one. And this was beautifully written. Yeah. I did not expect Soledad's story to be like that. So just a quick synopsis of this one. For Soledad's life, I don't want to get too much because sometimes these back give it to you. But anywho, she was married with her husband. Her husband was like the breadwinner, I guess you could say. She's a stay-at-home mom. Doing everything for her daughters. Like, so she stopped working completely to provide for her daughters and take care of them, take them to the school, take them to the soccer games. You know, she was that typical soccer mom while dad did all the work and out the house and traveling and all of that. Well, in typical relationships like that, when dad is the breadwinner and he's working and mom's not working and she's the homemaker, things tend to happen. And from there, it trickles down to other things. So I don't want to give it all. But yes. So it was good because I just like the outcome for her. Like, I love her outcome. I love that for her, that she had a happy ending because she was just, didn't feel she had a purpose. Like before I let go, it kind of was telling you that she didn't have a purpose within her marriage, within her life anymore, besides her kids. But she just didn't have, she was losing herself. She was fighting for her husband to spend time with her. She was fighting for, to just know that he really loves her. And she felt, feels that love. Like, she was just fighting for a lot in that book before I let go. And then so once you get to this one, This Could Be Us, you start really seeing the outcome of what happened when she's trying to find that purpose. But before she even tried to find that purpose, stuff hit the fan right away in like the first chapter or 2. And then you start seeing her really building herself back up and finding her purpose and realize, like, I don't need them. I don't need, like, I don't want to give it away. So you just got to read it. The girl can write. Kennedy, you can write, girl. So I'm going to get into her other series too, but I just haven't gotten into those yet. But this is the Skyline series, so This Could Be Us. Well, sorry, Before I Let Go is the first one. This Could Be Us is the second one. And then eventually she'll have her third one, which is on the third friend called Hendrix. That's the third friend, single friend, living the single life, whatever like that, got all his money and stuff like that. So we're going to hopefully get her book too next. But that's on that one. The third Black author that I'm loving is Nina. And it's just plain Nina. Like, she's a good one. I felt with her book, and her series is called On Us. On Us 1, On Us 2, On Us 3. So she got a 3-part series on that, but however, she has spin-off books too, which I'll go over those shortly. But for the On Us series, it's about a young girl and her sister went through a whole lot in their younger childhood life, pretty much. I don't want to say the streets raised them, but like sort of kind of like they raised themselves, with the older sister, was the one that stepped in and most to help raise the younger sister. But they pretty much was just 2 peas in the pot and everything was just on them. Like that's their little saying, on us. Like everything was just them 2 stuck together like glue. They survived their childhood together, which they went through a lot of traumatic things in childhood. And then they're surviving now adulthood together. The youngest one is becoming an adult. The other one is already an adult. So within those series, you just pretty much see them go through, life, get into relationships, and then these relationships getting a little crazy. Again, you have the typical drug dealer street type style. They get into the street boys that they're falling in love with. But I don't know why I like those type of books, because I guess I've grown up. Like, I'm not gonna say I grew up in the streets, because I had a very good childhood here and there. Like, I've had some rough patches of my childhood, but I've also could say I was privileged. I always say I had the best of both worlds in my childhood. So I was, had little rough patches in it, but I've also had privilege in my childhood. So, but I grew up in Chicago, West Side, if to be exact, if you know what that is. So it was a rough area that I grew up in. Seen a lot on my own eyes. Most people I've grown up with are not here to this day, because of street life. So I understand street life. I understand being with a male in the street life. Like, my I've dated street people. So I don't know how else to put it, but so I get it, I understand it, and it does remind me so much of my childhood, so much of the guys in my childhood that I grew up around. It's just reminds you so much of the young love you had when you were dating this fast life, going through this fast life. Like, it just, yeah, it reminds me of that. So, and within this series, oh God, when I say it had me laughing the whole way through, like, I was laughing like I was in the living room listening to them go back and forth at each other. Just I felt like I was there. One thing I like about these authors, they really make you feel like you're in that moment with the characters. Like, I feel like I was one of the characters sitting there watching them. Like, I feel like I had the camera filming it. That's how good these authors can write. Like, yeah, the books were good. But with this one, with the On Us, like I said, with the two girls, they go through, dating these guys. They're called the Porter brothers, or the Porter boys, however you want to say it. It's like 5 of them, I believe. And of course, they're dating 2 of them. So it just takes you through the little series of them and how they're going through that, which it was pretty good. And then they had a spinoff, which is Front Street. Let me see the character. I believe it was Front Street Porter, which was good. Now, with Front Street Porter, it takes you deeper into, so the On Us series in the eyes of the sisters, right? It was in their eyes. So it's pretty much what they're thinking, what they're saying, things like that. When you'll have the other characters saying stuff, but it's in their point of view. Then the Front Street Porter is in the point of view of the brothers. It's 5 of them, right? It's in their point of view on how they were raised, and what made them come into this street life. So it pretty much, you'll see their point of view, see how they're, when I say they went through some crazy stuff in chat, it was crazy. Like, I, yeah, like, for them, their childhood, and that's typical too, because within our society, within Black people society, if you're Black, you understand me. Within Black people society, or if you're in Black and raised in the hood, you'll understand. But within your society, a lot of kids, a lot of boys, like, you think they came because you're wondering how they became in the street gang, but that's what they grew up in. It's what they grew up in to survive. It's what they are taught to survive. Like, they had limited resources, so you get what you're given, right? And you make the best out of it. And most of them make the best out of it being in the street life. Whether it's the fast money, the drugs to obtain the fast money, selling the drugs to obtain the fast money. That's just how your environment is. Like, if you're into that environment, some, yes, successfully get out. Some don't successfully get out. So I just really like that she threw this book out here after the On Us series, because they really let you know more about the brothers, and you see the brothers in a different way. Like, at first you're like, oh no, I don't like them. Like, no, they this crazy. I don't like them. But then once you get that Front Street, I started really liking them as well, and On Us too. But once you get to the Front Street Porter, you fully understand the brothers and how they were raised, how they got into their life, why it's hard for them to get out of it. Like, you really fully understand them. And I like that she did that one. And then she just threw another one out, y'all. I did not know this one dropped in April of this year. And I'm currently reading it right now. And this is on, in all her series, I don't have the book for it. I think it's all on Kindle. So I'm reading her series on Kindle. And I have Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, all her books are free. But It's called Reckless, and it actually details one of the brothers. Because I feel like two of the brothers, they talk so much about the other two of the brothers, well, shoot, maybe three of the brothers. They kind of talk so much about them already in these other books that I was shocked that she was even throwing another book out just pinpointing only one of the brothers, life. So one of them is called Reckless. So it's the brand new, just came out, and she does pinpoint this brother's life a little bit more about him, because I feel like in the books you don't know much about him. You just know about the other four brothers because they detail things that happened to them in their life. But nothing was really talked about this character. His name is Rec. So I'm currently on that one. I think I'm only on page. I just started yesterday. I'm on page 70. It's 484 pages, so I'm gonna get there. But so far it's having me on edge. But it's life. I have to work. Just did my iron treatment today, which is why I got this on. But I like Nina. Nina is a good writer as well. I haven't really fully gotten into her other I don't think she have anything else. I think she had one more other book that I haven't read yet, but I just really like this On Love series in the Front Street Porters with her. But other than that, yes, that is all I had. I like those three black authors. They're killing the game right now. I'll reiterate them. We have Ashley Antoinette. And just to piggyback on Ashley Antoinette, again, her husband, Jaquavius Coleman, I think his series was the Cartel series. I hear a lot about the Cartel series, so that's another whole, obviously, drug dealer series things you can hear about, but I just haven't gotten into reading them yet. So I'm going to get into those next year. I got to step my book game up because I slacked this year. I think I only did like 5 or 6 books this year. I slacked. But the second author is Kennedy Ryan. She's a good author. It's right here. And both of them, you can follow them on TikTok and Instagram. I think I follow both of them. And then the third one is Nina, just plain Nina, Nina. I haven't seen her on any type of social media platforms, so hopefully can read more about her or whatnot, if I can find her pages. But other than that, that's all I had. Let me see. I think that was all I had in my notes. Yeah, that's it. But have you guys read these books? If you have, let's talk in the comments. Am I the only one that's been so in love with these black authors and their series that they have? Let me know in the comments. I would definitely like to discuss. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching my video. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell notification so you'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. See you tomorrow for day 21. Bye.